Hi, my name is Kaela Gardell, and this is my Midterm Ignite project. In this presentation, I will be talking about the design process and also about informing design. I hope you enjoy this presentation. What is design? Design is a basic component of human experience and has been practiced since the beginning of time. It involves bringing an idea from the world of imagination to the world of objects by completing the design process. The design process includes several stages, including inspiration, identification, conceptualization, exploration, definition, communication, as well as production. The first step of the design process is inspiration. Inspiration is simply what stimulates the designer and keeps them motivated to continue working on the project. Inspiration can come from anywhere and anything and usually has to do with what type of goal they are trying to achieve. The next stage of the design process is identification. This is the stage where objectives can be defined. The designer can also explore the needs and constraints of the project and make connections in how concepts can be brought together. Conceptualization is about identifying the problem the designer is going to solve and how they're going to solve it. The solution to the problem can include what the product is going to be used for or what approach they are going to take to solve this problem. The next stage of the design process is exploration. In this stage, the designer can explore different options for the design. They could do this by using the scamper method, which can alter any aspects of the design, such as materials, use, and color. Definition. This is when the designer makes their final choices of what they are going to do with their design. This can include selecting specific details and confirming what the designer is going to ultimately produce. Communication. The designer needs to be able to communicate their idea to make it come to life. This is where the designer tells either the production team or whoever is part of the design what they see in their head and what they came up with. This is definitely an important aspect of the design process. The next stage in the design process is production. Production is where the design comes to life. Depending on the designer, it could be as simple as sending it off to a manufacturer or actually cutting and sewing the design itself. One of the most important things about being a designer is being able to communicate your design effectively. There are 3 phases of communicating design, and they are encoding, delivery, and decoding. Encoding has to do with how the message is developed and created. Encoding is performed by the person who is sending the message. This can include how they want the message to be portrayed and what they want the message to entail. The next phase is delivering the message to your audience and what form the message is delivered. This is done by the person communicating their idea and received by the person they want to communicate with. Decoding. This is when the audience or the person being communicated with has to absorb the information that they are receiving and then interpret it themselves. This is where the receiver tries to understand what the information is supposed to mean. Who does the designer communicate with? Usually, the designer communicates with a number of different parties, including but not limited to clients, management, budgeting, PR, engineers, manufacturers, or a co-designer. Of course, technology is important in a lot of different aspects of society, but because of technological advances, design is able to evolve and be brought to life in other mediums. Technology opens up a whole new world for design. When designing something in print, you have various constraints because print is a finite form. Most of the time, you will have fixed size and colors that you will be able to work with, as well as the way people will be able to see it. When designing on a screen, the possibilities are endless. This is because you have a variety of tools and colors that you can utilize, as well as flexibility with formatting and with shape. When thinking 3-dimensionally, you need to take into account more elements that could affect your design. These elements include structure, gravity, motion, and the need to account for spatial differences and perception. To finish off the presentation today, I'm going to end with a quote by Milton Glasser. To design is to communicate clearly by whatever means you can control or master. Thanks for watching.